I have a question for you. Are you constantly describing everything as interesting? Yeah, the book was interesting. Make sure you watch this video because we're talking about all things interesting. This will help you sound more natural and interesting when you speak English. So instead of saying interesting, you can say fascinating. But what does it mean? Fascinating means very, very interesting, more than just interesting. For example, the museum has a fascinating collection of paintings. The next word is intriguing. This word means that something makes you want to learn more about it. It can be a person, a thing, anything can be described as intriguing. For example, there's something about the story that's really intriguing. And the next word is thought provoking. This word describes when something makes you think more about it, especially a topic or situation. It's used when something makes you think about the topic in a deeper way. For example, the film was very thought provoking. The next word is captivating, and that describes when something or someone attracts and holds your attention for a long period of time. That is, you really want to learn even more about whatever is being said or about a situation or a person. For example, her story was so captivating, I didn't leave the restaurant for an hour. And the next synonym is amusing. This describes something that's both funny and interesting at the same time. For example, I have a really amusing story to tell you. And the next one is enthralling. This is when something or someone, especially a story, a book, or a film, really takes hold of your attention completely to the point that nothing else matters. For example, I found your book really enthralling. Now, before we move on to the next word, if you want even more free English tips, tricks, and advice, make sure you check the link in my description box or the first pinned comment, where there's a free guide that will give you 7 tips you can use to speed up your English progress. These tips will really help you advance your English faster. So again, make sure you check out the description box and first pinned comment. Now with that out the way, let's get back to some synonyms of interesting. Compelling. This is when something invokes your attention but also admiration and interest. This has a similar meaning to enthralling but is more interesting. For example, I thought that book was very compelling. The next one is stimulating, which means inspiring new ideas and enthusiasm for something. This word really means you're really inspired by something you've heard or seen. For example, we had a stimulating conversation about the direction of the company. And the next word is appealing. This is something that's both attractive and interesting. For example, actually, the idea to hang out with my friends was still appealing despite the bad weather. And the next word is riveting. This means something is both extremely interesting and exciting at the same time. For example, she told a riveting story about her time in the jungle. And the next word is gripping. That's something that makes you really interested and excited about something, usually a story or a film. For example, I found the movie completely gripping. The next word is enjoyable. Of an occasion or event gives another person delight or pleasure. For example, the decision to add balloons made the party even more enjoyable. The next word is engrossing. That is something that completely holds your attention, and there is nothing else that matters or you're interested in during that time. It's an especially good word when you're really enjoying a film or a book, and while you're watching it, you forget about everything but that book or film you're watching. For example, I was so engrossed with the book I stayed up all night reading it. The next word is entrancing. That is when something is so interesting or enjoyable, you forget about everything else. It completely holds your attention. For example, he has written an entrancing, beautiful book about his childhood. And the next word is refreshing. This word means that something is both new and exciting at the same time. For example, the TV show took a refreshing look on superhero films. Are you excited to use one of these words in your next English conversation? Practice using one of these words right now by answering this question. What has something interesting happened today? Make sure you don't use interesting and use one of the words taught in this video instead. Please don't forget to get my free guide that will give you even more tips and tricks for improving your English faster. Link in the description and first pinned comment. Now, at this point of the video, I've taught you a lot of new words you can use to sound more natural in English. But if you want to shock English native speakers, make sure you watch my video here, where I will teach you 7 slang words you can use to surprise any English speakers you know. Thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this video and want even more free lessons just like this, make sure you subscribe. Hit that notification bell, smash that like button, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.